You are listening to Proof Text, a Glossa House podcast exploring Scripture and all things related to it. New episodes are released daily. For more information, check out glossahouse.com and subscribe to our channels on Spotify and YouTube. Welcome and enjoy.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. T. Michael W. Halcomb. I'm a Bible professor, a language scholar, author, and believe it or not, a stand-up comedian. Welcome to the Proof Text podcast. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the pod on YouTube and Spotify, Instagram, all the things. We're going to be posting new content all the time, language learning tips and interviews with guests and other helpful resources you're not going to want to miss out. Here's something I want you to consider. If you've ever watched something grow slowly, a tree, a child, even your own faith, you know that the most important things often don't happen fast. That's true in life, and it's also true in Scripture. The Bible's not a story of instant results all the time. It's a story of generations too. When God makes a covenant with Abraham, he says, I'll make your descendants as numerous as the stars. But Abraham never lives to see it. He dies holding the promise, not the fulfillment. And that's how God seems to work, not just in moments, but in movements, not just in lifetimes, but in lineages. The generation lens, it reminds us that Scripture isn't a story about what God does for one person in one lifetime. It's about what God does through many people across time and in many places across time. The Israelites understood this. They measured life not in years, but in generations. Every family told the stories of their ancestors, not just because it was tradition, but because it was theology, remembering. It was a sacred act. Tell your children, Moses says in Deuteronomy, and their children after them. Because faith that isn't passed on dies in one generation. And we tend to think of our faith as personal experience, but the people of Scripture thought of faith as inheritance, something received, nurtured, and handed forward. So every time you see a genealogy, every time you hear phrases like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the text is reminding us God isn't just your God. He's your family of faith's God. He's your people's God, the God who stays faithful from one generation to the next, even when those generations don't stay faithful to him. I mean, think about it. Abraham doubts. Isaac fades into the background. Jacob deceives. Yet God keeps showing up. He blesses families who are broken, tribes who are divided, nations who are lost. And somehow this God keeps the story going. Even in the New Testament, that generational rhythm continues, right? Mary sings. His mercy extends to those who fear him from generation to generation. Paul reminds Timothy that the same faith that lived in his grandmother Lois and his mother Eunice now lives in him. It's as if the story of God is a thread, and every generation adds another stitch. Some neat, some messy, but it's all part of the same tapestry. And so this generation lens helps us see time differently. We live in a culture obsessed with immediacy, right? Results now, success now, change now. But God doesn't rush. God plants. And sometimes the seeds we sow in faith, they don't bloom until long after we're gone. And maybe that's what legacy really is, not building something that lasts, but believing in something that'll outlast us. And so the next time you read Scripture, look for the generations. Notice how often the story stretches beyond one individual's life. And when you think about your own faith, ask yourself, what am I passing on? Who's going to tell my story? And will they say that I too carried the promise, even if I never saw it fulfilled? Because the God who began a good work in one generation will be faithful in this one, and in the next one, and the one after that. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped you think about the Bible in a fresh way, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves studying scripture. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss our weekly uploads. I'd love to hear what you're seeing differently through this lens. So drop a comment below.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.